His name is John C.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's nostalgia. Long hits.
I got the whole block wishing they could come with my division, but they go on fishing with no bait. Get your boy whole weight. I got my soul straight. I brush your mouth like cold date. In any weather, I'm never better. The boy's so hot, you never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. I drop your whole clan. Lay your ass down for the 3 second tan. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
We're back. Welcome back, Bong Hits family. We're back with another one.
When the ice age melts, you see monetary status is not what matters, but it helps. I'm rocking timepiece by Benny and Eddie. The same reason y'all can love me is the same reason.
We're back. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We have a good video. I think a lot of people enjoy this one. Oh, no, this is the one I was looking for. So, you think you're untouchable?
So, you think you're untouchable?
Let's go!
Word life. This is basic thugonomics. This is basic thugonomics. Word life. I'm untouchable, but I'm
This is Basic Thugonomics. We're back.
This is basic thugonomics. Word life. I'm untouchable, but I'm forced to be the field. Whether fighting or spitting, my discipline is unforgiving.
Backing up in a defensive position.
An ass chicken anthem. Heavyweight O'Bantam, holding camp for ransom. The microphone
We're breaking out the silver today.
hit the floor, it's the new fight joint. You missing the point. We dominate your conference with offense that's no nonsense. My team song hits.
Get your reinforcements.
Strike quick with hard kicks.
Fucking ice picks.
Beat you like this. Get forgot like all timers. Two-faced rappers walk away with 4 shiners. The raw rhymer, turning legends to old.
Okay, welcome back, welcome back. That's enough of that. Enough of the intros. Today we got a lot to discuss. The paranoia of the bond market collapsing seems to be very interesting. Pretty trending right now. Gold had its biggest growth in the past 5 months, going from roughly 4,000, when I was kind of saying it was a good time to definitely buy, up to $4,300. So gold coming back. Silver as well seems to be on that comeback trail. And this is why I pretty much said the whole time that you're not really holding to get rich overnight. You're holding as a defensive plan to protect your purchasing powers in metals. That's what metals are all about. You're not going to get rich overnight. It's going to be a frustrating, annoying process, and to just expect it. But those that hold will probably remain victorious in the end. Anyway, not really a whole lot to discuss. There was something else I wanted to say with silver and gold that was going on, and I can't remember what it is. It was something pretty interesting too. Well, just really that even like the media is starting to kind of halfway acknowledge that the system's fucked. I mean, they know it is. But even they're starting to admit it. I guess there was a report that the media did on how men are actually just walking away from society. That'll teach the fuckers. Yeah, and it's like when you have the game completely rigged against a human, they don't want to participate at all. I don't blame them. Yeah, I don't blame them at all. And once again, the older generation just seems to, I'm not saying the older generation, but just some of them out there are just have to be some of the purest assholes I've ever seen in my life of like, all they're worried about is like, who's going to pay that Social Security, you know? And it's like, well, what if all the young men at once just drop out of it, you know? Like, what if the whole labor market just bottoms out, you know, and no one works? Like, what do they do then? But that seems to be their only, you know, thing. And there was a guy that posted a thing about Social Security and bitching about how we should all be paying for Social Security, even though it's not going to be there for when we're adults. So just let that sink in for a second if you disagree with me. That we should pay in for it so we could not have it and be probably broke as fuck when we're old and have no Social Security. But we'll pay in for it, though, huh? So a lot of the younger generations have woke up. They've seen, you know, they're smart enough to see, like, hey, it's not worth it. I'm not doing this. Fuck it. Great to see. But it seems to be almost a strong movement now that the media is starting to acknowledge it slightly, which is a big thing because usually the media, for them to acknowledge anything wrong, is just fat fucking chance there. But even the women are noticing. You know, you know, what really shocked me the other day, well, first I do want to talk about this boomer. It is like, the motherfucker goes to me, I'm like, yeah, like, we should just pay for your Social Security. Someone called the guy out first and said, you know, yeah, we're 40 trillion in debt. We should just keep making sure your Social Security is good for you, bub. And then I said something along the lines of like, you know, yeah, the younger generations that are getting totally fucked, working for nothing, should just pay for your Social Security. That's the main concern, you know, as long as you're all right. And the guy goes, oh, do you whine much? You know, I'm like, bro, you're the one that's the first person on here whining, bro. I just commented that you're whining. You're going to call me a whiner? Like, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, I digress. They're fucking assholes. I'm not saying all of them. Like, you know, there's a lot of boomers and Gen X that I do like. And there's a lot of boomers and Gen X that I fucking hate. I mean, it's a mixed, it really is a mixed bag. Some boomers and Gen X are incredible people that I deeply love. And a lot of boomers and Gen X are fucking complete assholes that have just totally, like, they're totally oblivious. And there's just no change in their minds. But anyway, the women have started to notice too. That, you know, men aren't chasing them anymore. They're staying single. They're stacking their gold and silver, baby. That's what I'm talking about. And their Pokemon. They're staying single. They're sticking to their hobbies. And they're staying out of trouble. That even a lot of the women have started to notice the entitlement's dying. I mean, you know, you see them go on on these shows and they'd say, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. Everybody's a 10. And now it's like they rate themselves like, I'm a 6, I'm a 5, I'm a 7. Like they've caught on a little bit, you know, which is funny. But the main reason I'm making this video is there was a 23-year-old woman, beautiful young lady, that made a video that really hit me, man. Just the way she described it. And another gentleman made a video on relationships and how he described it. You know, like when there's no respect in a relationship, there is, oh God, how he said it was so much more beautiful than how I would say it. But like when there was no respect in a relationship, there's no like actual framework for success. And it's very true. It's very true. But I mean, but anyway, so I want to get into what this chick was saying, though, because seeing a 23-year-old beautiful woman say this kind of stuff is almost unheard of. I mean, like, I was very shocked to click on this video and actually see a chick acknowledge me. But I was really, like, crazily, I couldn't believe it, because, like, what she was saying was just something you don't hear women say at all. And I mean, she was calling everything out. I mean, she was saying, how women's standards are just through the roof. They're toxic as hell. They're the same as a street hooker, and their expectations are just insane. Like, they act like a street hooker, and they literally want the treatment of a pure princess. I mean, and hearing her say it was just so sublime to me, of like, wow, you just never hear a chick say this. And she really called it out, and she said, like, that, yeah, men are choosing to stay single because their options are essentially just street hookers that have 10 to 20 different men, and they want you to be a millionaire, when they bring nothing to the table. She really broke it down perfectly, and it sounds terrible when I say it as a man, but I mean, hearing a woman say it is just so much more on point, because it really is just like, yeah. And she talks about, their position to be able to call men out, and if we call women out, it's misogyny. If you call a race out, you're racist. But if you're a woman and you're calling a man out, it's perfectly A-okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with, calling the men out, for being bums, when literally the chicks that are calling the men out are bums. Like, that's the shit I can never stand. It's like, the women that want you to make $1 million a year are the same women that don't make shit. Or they'll sit there and lie when they get asked the question, well, can you make $1 million? They're like, well, yeah, I could, but I mean, I just choose not to. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure you do. No one just chooses not to make $1 million. But I don't know, man. It's beautiful to see other women wake up to it. And maybe there is hope for the younger generations eventually. Maybe there is. If you throw out this scam of a government, you abolish this system, and you go back to just things being simple, like they were, in the 1900s, early 1900s. You still have technology, but if you just went back to the simplicity of things, they would be a hell of a lot better than what we're dealing with today. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I mean, and she also said, most chicks, they completely ignore a good working, hardworking man that would take care of them. 100% true. 100% true. And, really just everything she said, I have never really heard a chick talk and say a bunch of things that I really agreed with everything. Usually they always go off course somewhere, or they'll have a nose ring while they're saying all this and throat tattoos. But, but yeah, this chick was really spot on, with describing how fucked it is for men. That, they have to like slave every day to provide a house for a woman, and that woman doesn't respect it or appreciate it or have any like gratefulness towards it. That, yeah, you're destined to fail no matter what, for the most part. And it wasn't always like this. It's the same thing with the job market. It's all cooked by design. It's all cooked by design. The dollar collapsing over time is cooked by design. It's all by design. To just, if I was the devil running this world, I would make wages stagnant for those that want to earn them, so they literally are just stuck in a rut. I would turn men and women against each other. I would entitle women as much as I possibly could. And I would demote men as much as I possibly could. Destroying the human fabric of relationships and how they should work. And quite frankly, if you look at this world this way, the devil's doing one hell of a good job. He's doing one hell of a good job. He's convinced there's nothing even wrong. He's convinced a lot of people there's nothing even wrong. You know, like that's what's shocking to me. That, you know, a lot of people think there's nothing even wrong when all hell's pretty close to breaking loose. Anyway, trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to really dive into today on today's episode. Oh yeah, how beautiful of a box Temporal Forces is. I just noticed this in my collection. I was like, dude, these are like, I have the option to sell one of these for $270, and I'm kind of like, it's just such a cool looking box. That it reminds me of Cosmic Eclipse so much, just like the look of it. That it's really hard to sell this because I only bought 2 boxes back when they were cheap, and I don't know. I'm debating on selling one of them, but it's just such a cool little box. I know it's not like the greatest box ever, but it's just, I don't know, like the nostalgia of that box just hits me. I don't know why it's like nostalgic to me already, but yeah. Like I said, though, we're seeing Team Up run up like crazy. I called this at $8,000 like no other YouTuber fucking did. They don't even talk about Team Up. And we've talked about Team Up for months. Saying it was a really good buy at $8,000 and how you should probably move your chips into it. But if you did, you did. If you didn't, you didn't. Anyway, trying to think if there's anything else that was pretty interesting going on. No, nothing I really think of. But yeah, I mean, the times are definitely crazy out there. That's for sure. And I don't know, like I would love to see humanity stand up and change it. I really would. I would love for the smug ass people on Fox News to just see humanity just bum rush them all, you know, and be like, fuck you guys. You know, you're all pieces of shit. And they really are. Just like hearing how smug they are when they talk about people and their game plan for your life. Like when you think about it, when you were born, your entire life was like mostly already chosen for you. Like if you weren't born into money, your whole entire life was chose to be poor or middle class. Your entire existence. And it's just like people don't want to accept that shit, you know, especially when they're working hard. And the media just beats them over the head with why they're not working hard enough or why they need to work more, you know. And it's just like, don't bother bullshit. And seeing men in giant numbers staying away from this. And I'm not saying working's bad. I mean, I did it for a long time. I worked for a long fucking time. And I'm not saying it's bad. But in the current climate, it's pretty fucked. And a lot of men have realized that you can pretty much just make investments to make more money than working. Oh, no, we did have something big I wanted to cover over today. I was right about real estate in this area. As much as everyone says, ooh, the real estate market's collapsing. We're going to go over this. This is what the main thing I wanted to make a video on today was why taking out loans really isn't that bad. Why you can, as long as you're responsible about what you're buying. The real estate prices skyrocketed in my area. They are up, I mean, almost 100% in, a 6-month period. So since we bought that house, I would say we're about $100,000 all in on it. It would resell. So there was a house that just sold for $190,000. That is a smaller house than that. Doesn't have a nice yard. Doesn't have like woods behind it. It's just wedged in between 2 houses in town. Sold for $190,000. Meaning by our little real estate project, when I finish the paint, is probably going to sell for the upwards price of $200,000 fucking dollars. And even selling it as it is right now would probably sell for $180,000. So that's why sometimes debt can make you rich. It's just you really got to make sure you're getting in the right places at the right times on something you really believe in. And that can really make you a lot of money. Like, that's not always a bad thing. It's not a good thing. And another thing I wanted to hit home with a lot of my subscribers is never take out car loans, though. Car loans are the worst. Those have the highest percent interest. Some car loans hit 31% APR. If you don't know what APR is, annual interest rate percentages, they can hit 31%. Now, real estate at 6%, it sucks. Getting in at 3% is a lot better. This is better to be doing. But even at 6%, if you don't have the money, and you know a certain property is worth way more than what it's selling for, it can still generate you a hell of a lot of money. And in this case, we made about what, $90,000 in profit in 6 months. Like, I think it's crazy. I mean, because I was just gonna quick sell it for like 130, 140, and just make like a quick 40, 50 grand. But I knew better that real estate was not going to come down in this area. I knew for a fact it wasn't going to come down. So I chose to hold longer, and I had one of my friends kind of call me out. They're like, "Bro, just sell. You made fucking good money on it. Like, just sell it. You don't even live there." I'm like, "Yeah, but I go there, I hang out there, and I like the property." I'm like, "If I like the property, I'm gonna hold on to it. And if I believe in it, I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit and see what the market does." And yeah, right now the market has went really crazy for real estate, and I think it's gonna get much worse in a lot of areas. But seeing people spend, $190 grand on a refurbished house is wild. But I think, quite frankly, and this is, now, in real estate, usually there's a slowdown in the winter. The winter is when you want to buy homes, not sell them. And granted, we're in the summer, but we're in the later stages of summer. We're almost in September. Usually home prices cool off a little bit. So to see them actually go up is terrifying, because that means by next summer, they're going to come out of the gate ripping hard. I mean, if they're going up in the winter, they're going to probably skyrocket in the summer, to where I think this place will probably be seen at 250 to 300,000, fairly easy, especially finished. So, yeah, that's why, like I said, debt isn't always a bad thing. It just has to be managed properly, and it's good to have the gold or silver or the Pokemon or the money there to back it, or the other real estate to back it if you need to ever pay it off, that you can. But yeah, essentially debt's not a terrible thing. It's just you're working against the clock. Don't take 30 years to pay off a loan. Either sell it before then or pay it off before then. Never take the full 30 years, but to take 2, 3, 4, 5 years to pay it off, not a big deal. Not a big deal. So, anyway, those are things I just wanted to cover over. The real estate journey's going great, like always. But anyway, that's all I wanted to cover. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're out.